Ladies and gentlemen, maybe good morning, good afternoon, bien bonjour, bien bonsoir. Today, we just want to come up with a video, and I believe everybody is talking about it. If they feel like is some people say what the President Zelensky does, he disrespect the U.S. president. The U.S. president said that he disrespect the American people, and they call him ungrateful. They call him all kind of name, and then everybody know that Zelensky been kicked out from the White House, and they asked him to leave. And there's supposed to be a press conference, and there's supposed to be a dinner that never happened because they feel like he disrespect the president of the United States. And you can see when the vice president entered to the conversation, it is really and I think it's, to me, I don't understand what's going on with that. And also what I feel like is feels so bad also, where that the news conference there was asked question, and one of the journalists asked President Zelensky, do you own a suit? Why you never wear suit when you come into the high profile meeting? And especially in the White House, he never wear suit. Mr. Zelensky, the President Zelensky from Ukraine, like he say, well, I don't wear one because I'm at the war, and after the war is over, and I will wear one, maybe one more expensive than what you had, or maybe cheaper than what you have. Brothers and sisters, and politics is this something everybody probably say what's going on in politics, why is politics that way, why is like that. And the war between Russia and Ukraine, the war has been of 3 years and maybe a month, 3 years something, and they still fight. And I know the President Donald Trump, when he was campaigning, he said he would have stopped the war on the day one, when he after he swear as a president, he would start the war in the next day. And I'm not sure, but I feel like he tried his best to do it, but the plan doesn't work out for President Zelensky, and he's not what he want. He don't get it, and guy, it was a lot of question, and to me, it's like embarrassing to President Zelensky. I'm going to let you listen to it. Brothers and sisters, mesdames et messieurs, bonjour, bien bonsoir. Ça dépend qui côté ou pas le temps des vidéos. Et nous pensons situation entre la Russie avec le pays Ukraine, et bataille qui a 3 ans, peut-être 3 ans au moins, qui a bataille. Nous pensons que le président américain, qui c'est le président Donald Trump, l'État fait campagne, il a toujours dit comme ça, et depuis le président, bataille ça a campé dans 2 jours ou bien dans next day, s'il peut seulement le 20 janvier 2025, et il passé le 21 janvier pour commencer. C'est ça l'a commencé à faire. Oui, et nous ouais, des batailles qu'a fait dans le pays Israël, Iran, Hezbollah, tout un paquet de côté. Et les vini vraiment, même les n'importe ça y a vraiment, les vini puis la bataille ça a venu camper qui était commencé sous le président Biden. Il est venu camper. Et ça qui est plus important, nous devons comprendre, nous passons ça qui passe Zelensky, président Zelensky, président Ukraine, dans White House là, nous passons pour moi-même, moi, c'est une sorte d'humiliation. C'est affaire de vous dire, laissez mon wap mandé, le wap mandé moun, que parfois moun nan passé puisque wap mandé, il capable avoir n'importe gens vle, cadeau sale vle, ça comme si parce son petit moun il fait que c'est lui wap mandé. Ça qui est important nous voulons parler là, Zelensky entré dans White House là, elle paraît vraiment, et pour moi même je pense que il veut défendre pays, ça dit que il pas veut n'importe son balé pour dire amen. Il t'a aimé bon bagay pour qui peut-être qui avantage pays, c'est ça me penser. Et ben situation est vraiment compliquée. Je l'ai de Zelensky, est-ce qu'on va gagner veste qu'il faut pas jamais mettre veste là venir dans gros meeting ça yo, doit faire grand contre ça yo, ou pas respecter protocole et dans White House là vini tout le monde qui vini depuis dans genre de meeting ça toujours mettre veste sur yo, ou pas mettre veste sur président, il fait ça fond jouer, il dit bon puisque pays dans la guerre, moi pas mettre vers sous moi, mais quand la guerre a campé, m'a mettre vers sous moi, m'a acheter une peut-être qui plus cher que sur météa ou bien qui plus cheap que sur météa, il dit on regarde pour nous les batailles à camper, le président pas content. Côté le dit, il pas pour prendre une question qui pas de sens, la prendre question bagage important, il y a ton bagage pour le faire dans le pays, pour le régler, pour le venir ces questions c'est des questions pour venir poser. Pour moi même de façon vraiment son humiliation comme nous tous capables de connaître, le président américain mettait le président Zelensky dehors dans White House là, il dit aller, il devrait aller manger ou pas manger, il devrait aller faire presse conférence, pas presse conférence tout bagage cancel parce que le président Zelensky pas d'accord avec le plan président américain venir pour le parler. Brothers and sisters, and as everybody know that President Zelensky been kicked out of the White House because according to the President of the United States, the plan for President Zelensky, the plan they coming out for him for peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. It seems to me the peace is not work out for him. And one question I feel like he should be able to defend himself and not the way disrespectful of the President of the United States. I mean, he is the president also, as he's the president, just like the President Donald Trump is the president, he's the president also in his country, and I believe he had the right to stand up and for his country to say, well, what you try to give me it's not going to work out to my country, and I want something better. If you remember that when you ask people for a favor, I believe you should be like your head should be down. You should not be asked questions. You should be stay quiet and whatever they go give you and just say here, say here. That's the way I expect the plan according to the plan of the White House. I expect that's the way it probably present to President Zelensky, where he say he's not going to accept it. And he walk out without a deal signing, and they kick him out. The President of the United States, President Donald Trump, asked them to leave the White House over office, and then they're supposed to have a dinner, no dinner. They're supposed to have a press conference, no press conference. He had to leave right away, and then, yeah, like I say, when you asking for a favor, because you ask for a favor, I believe by asking for favor, you don't have no right to say anything. I'm going to let you listen to it, guys, see what's going on, and I'm trying to bring it to you guys. Don't forget, when you, if it's the first time you enter to my channel, when you enter, please, one first thing you should do, you do a like. Next, you leave me a little, a comment. The third, you subscribe to my channel, and guys, believe me, if you subscribe to me, I will subscribe back to you also. There's no question about it. And you support me, I will support you back, because I understand we all in YouTube, we all need support from each other. Mesdames et messieurs, si c'est pour la première fois que vous montez sur channel là, et l'on monte sous lui, bah nous un petit like, quitte un petit commentaire et puis abonner avec channel là. Et pour abonner avec moi-même, m'a pas abonné à vos bacs parce que même c'est comme ça fonctionner. Et pour ban moi, m'a pas au bac, nous connaissons tout dans YouTube, yon là pour supporter l'autre. Mesdames et messieurs, nous pas le faut attendre pour moi-même parce que c'est une grosse humiliation pour le président Zelensky d'après ça qui passé dans White House là côté yo même mandé monsieur pour quitter palais blanche là lui pas yo fait l'aller il était pour aller manger ou pas manger il était venu avec staff lui ou pas manger il était pour faire presse conférence monsieur aller et ça vient faire plus mal là c'est côté négalement des Zelensky est-ce qu'on pas gain veste qu'il faut pas mettre veste sur là venir dans gros meeting ça yo ou t'as de mettre veste sur là vient là c'est comme si on violait protocole et l'autorité américaine yo côté président américain dit que Zelensky de respecter le peuple américain et nous pas le faut tenter pour ça parler anglais ou bien ça pas parler anglais. Et nous faisons effort, nous disons quelques petits mots dans la langue pas nous, juste pour pas comprendre. Situation est vraiment compliquée dans le pays actuellement dans le monde là, si première puissance dans le monde là, nous sentons en bouleverse, c'est-à-dire que tout pays dans le monde là, yo en bouleverse, mesdames et merci. Merci du fait que vous prenez le temps pour regarder la vidéo, pour tenter message là, nous sentons son humiliation, son soufflette pour President Zelensky dans le pays blanc américain over office to with Mr. Donald Trump. I'm going to let you listen to it, guy. Let's make your own judgment. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, pas oublier, partager, et quitter commentaire, et puis abonner avec la chaîne. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, everybody who want to support my channel, guys. Thank you so much, guys. And then I am grateful to it. And if you subscribe to me or you watch my video, you don't see me watch your video, don't worry. Send me a comment. Let me know. Hey, how come I connect with you? You did not connect back with me. Hey, I don't want you to do that. A lot of you guys watch the video, walked away, no connection, no connect, no subscribe, no like, no nothing, guys. This is not fair. Let's support one each other, guys. Il y a plus de monde qui vient regarder vidéo, ils finissent dans les vidéos, regarder vidéo. Après ça, ils pas abonné avec channel là, ils pas quitté un petit commentaire. Mais il y a quelques jours, ils pas fait channel, mais pendant 2 jours là, je suis sorti, je suis mettre au moins 2 vidéos dehors, mettez dehors. Please supporter vidéo, guys. Nous connaissons qu'on y a YouTube pour accès avec 3 minutes. Ou can faire un shortcut 3 minutes, which is good. Sometimes it used to be like whatever, it used to be like 30 seconds, 15 seconds. Now they give you 3 minutes. Ou can faire un petit short vidéo. On a YouTube dans 3 minutes, nous can faire une vidéo. Pas oublier, même pour 3 minutes, ou can faire une petite vidéo. Abonné à la chaîne là, moi-même, je suis abonné à ensemble avec vous. Mesdames et messieurs, on a le temps de dire ça va passer dans le monde là. Tête chargée, bagaille triste, bagaille pas de plaisir là-dedans. Et à chaque fois nous parlons, nous faisons parler sur le domaine de l'immigration. Nous mentons si vous dans le pays, ou pas de papier dans le monde, prudent. Et c'est pour protéger tout, protéger les femmes, parce que ceux qui étaient pays, Haïti pas bon, pour t'indiquer, pas de problème, on peut retourner à Haïti, Haïti pas bon, et pas bon, nous tous nous ça. Et prudent, si vous êtes gâté sur gagner dans le pays d'Haïti, nous venons là, restez en silence, parce que bon Dieu capable de dire un mot, même les. Dans le programme Biden, nous connaissons, plus le monde qui vient dans le programme Biden, tout le monde sait, le président américain, il faut que tout le monde sait illégal, même l'autre marié avec un citoyen américain, même l'autre marié avec un citoyen américain, depuis dans le programme l'autre venu, il faut que tout le monde sait illégal et le camper pour les mettre, ils font un petit camper programme là pour 6 mois pour le regarder, pour le réviser et éviter, mais il faut que tout le monde qui est venu dans le programme Biden, il faut que tout le monde sait illégal. Mesdames et messieurs, très prudent, protéger nous dans le pays blanc américain parce que le pays n'est pas bon, l'insécurité n'est pas bon même dans le pays d'Haïti. Je vais faire dans des vidéos, pas oublier, abonner, bonne note thumbs up, on supporter l'autre, on suspend faire égoïste, on support be selfish, let's support one each other, guy. Let's go, I'm going to let you listen to it.
We've been working very hard, so we've actually known each other for a long time. We've been dealing with each other for a long time and very well. We had little negotiations back, but that worked out, and I think for both countries, I think for the world actually, beyond both countries. And we have something that is a very fair deal, and we look forward to getting in and digging and working and getting some of the rare earth. But it means we're going to be inside, and it's a big commitment from the United States, and we appreciate working with you very much, and we will continue to do that. We have had some very good discussions with Russia. I spoke with President Putin. Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to have President Zelensky of Ukraine. And we've been working very hard, very close. So we've actually known each other for a long time. We've been dealing with each other for a long time and very well.
Mesdames et messieurs, le président américain dit merci à tout le monde qui là, qui a attendu lui. Il dit comme ça, il fait un peu le temps, il a travaillé avec président, avec pays Ukraine, le président ukrainien. Et il dit président Zelensky, qui est le président ukrainien, merci un peu du fait qu'il vient là pour nous capables chita, pour nous parler. Et il dit qu'il parlait avec le président Poutine de sa capacité, des pistes qu'il va faire là, en côté.
We had little negotiations back, but that worked out good. I think for both countries, I think for the world, actually, beyond both countries. And we have something that is a very fair deal. And we look forward to getting in and digging and working and getting some of the rare earth. But it means we're going to be inside, and it's a big commitment from the United States, and we appreciate working with you very much. And we will continue to do that. We have had some very good discussions with Russia. I spoke with President Putin, and we're going to try and bring this to a close. It's something that you want and that he wants. We have to negotiate a deal, but we've started the confines of a deal, and I think something can happen. The big thing is the number of...
This is how to get in shape fast.
At this point, with soldiers being killed, we're losing thousands of soldiers on both sides. We're losing a lot of soldiers, and we want to see it stop, and we want to see the money get put to different kinds of use, like the rebuilding. And we're going to be working very hard, but we've had a lot of very good conversations. I will say until we came along, the Biden administration didn't speak to Russia whatsoever. They didn't speak to anybody. They just allowed this to continue. And I will say that, I'll say in front of you, you've heard me say it 1,000 times, if I were president, this war would have never happened. We would have had a deal negotiated for you without having to go through what you've gone through. But your soldiers have been unbelievably brave. We've given them great equipment, but somebody has to use the equipment. They've been unbelievably brave, and we give them great credit. This was supposed to be over very quickly, and here we are 3 years later. So I give tremendous credit to your generals and your soldiers and yourself, in the sense that it's been very hard fighting, very tough fighting, great fighters. And you have to be very proud of them from that standpoint. But now we want to get it over with. It's enough, right? If we want to get it over with. So it's an honor to have you here. Thank you very much for coming. We're going to sign the agreement at the conference in the East Room in a little while, right after lunch. And we'll be having lunch together. We're also discussing some other things. And we appreciate everybody being here. It's
Mesdames et messieurs, nous sommes capables de comprendre, nous sommes capables de regarder très bien. Côté les présidents américains ont parlé, les longs maintenant, et président Poutine, président de la Russie, et côté nous regardons le président ukrainien, il n'est pas tellement tombé d'accord, il est en envie de parler, mais il n'est pas voulu parler, il n'a pas voulu cut-off président. Le président dit que il y a une bataille, il a supporté l'Ukraine longtemps, et le président dit, il cherche, il fouille, il va dans petit côté, qu'on y a, il y a un deal, il signe, dit là vraiment bon, et là bon pour l'Ukraine, là bon pour la Russie, pour être capable de camper. Et puis le président complimenté soldats ukrainiens, il dit nèg yo boivent, nèg yo vraiment boivent, il dit M. Zelensky ça tout, Zelensky dit oui, il est fier avec soldats ukrainiens. Le président dit après nous fin parler là, dit la fin signé, qu'on a président nous parle signer dit là dans East Side, dans White House là, pour chita pour manger, après fin manger, qu'on a après manger, il fin signer dit là. Et qu'on a nous parle côté conversation, hein? Est-ce qu'il peut aller plus loin, comment il peut aller, qui ça président Zelensky peut dire, est-ce qu'il peut aller d'accord pour le signer deal là, nous pensons non, il n'est pas d'accord pour le signer deal là. Brothers and sisters, what happened is, President Donald Trump, he's really congrat the military of Ukraine. He say he come up with a good deal with the President Zelensky, but if you look at the President Zelensky's face, when he said he spoke to President Putin, President Zelensky, he is not happy. He want to say something, but he doesn't want to cut off. And if you can look at his face right now, this is not a happy sign on his face. Mesdames et messieurs, en écoutez, ça va passer. Merci.
Somewhat of an exciting moment, but the really exciting moment is when they stop the shooting and we end up with a deal. And I think we're fairly close to getting that, and an honor to have you. And please, I'd like to say something.
No, thank you so much, Mr. President. Thank you for the invitation.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Really, I hope that
Merci pour l'invitation. Hein.
Document will be first step to real security guarantee.
Document ça yo, ou vle faire signer, hein. M'ta aimé plus que sécurité garantie là-dedans yo.
We count that America will not stop support. Really,
Il a souhaité que les Américains pas jamais camper supporter l'armée ukrainienne.
During our conversation, and of course the infrastructure or security guarantees.
Pendant ma parole, voilà, ça plus important pour moi. Nous avons même une sécurité qui garantit dans le pays. Et moi-même, je même parler ensemble avec vous, avec pays américains. Et c'est au même celle qui a une position pour camper, président de la Russie, président ukrainien dit avec président américain. Il dit Poutine sont killers, Poutine sont terroristes. Ils ne sont pas d'accord avec ça la petite. Nous avons même sauver le pays. Démocratie dans le pays. Il dit pas faire, il dit tout ça, il dit pas faire aucun compromis avec le président Poutine comme un monde qui a tué le monde comme un terrasse. Regardez le président américain, est-ce qu'il est d'accord, est-ce qu'il n'est pas d'accord?
Yes, and of course we need very much the air defense. You have the best air defense in the world, and really you helped us under attacks of Russians. And I want to speak how we can exchange the licenses. We're open to share the licenses of all our drones with you, of course, with the United States. And we need licenses for quick production of air defense. Even after the war, we need our nation to be calm, that we are secure. So that's why we need this air shield. And of course, about this, I want to speak about the contingents. I think that France and UK already spoke to you, and we know that Europe is ready, but without the United States, they will not be ready to be as strong as we need. And the last point, last not least, about exchange, about our people and children. And you know that this crazy Russian, that they stolen 20,000 of children. Ukrainian children, they changed their names, they changed their families.
Quand faut camper là, président ukrainien dit avec président américain, Europe t'a Europe et ça Europe là t'a camper, il t'a dit il y a pas de sécurité, mais pour président Zelensky, il believe Europe pas capable pays Ukraine sécurité sans y pas gain américain ensemble avec eux. Il dit pas d'accord pour signer aucun deal avec Vladimir Poutine parce que Vladimir Poutine sont killers, mais ce sont terrasses liés. Il n'est pas d'accord pour signer aucun deal ensemble avec monsieur. Il dit est-ce que le président américain, est-ce qu'on connaît président la Russie te prend 20 000 timoun dans le pays Ukraine, li kidnappé yo, li changer nom yo, li ba l'autre Baptiste, qu'on y a timoun sa yo pas ukrainien encore, qu'on y a c'est russe yo ye en côté.
And now they're in Russia. We want to bring them back. And really, it's a big dream, task and goal for me. And our workers. By the way, we exchanged with yesterday's more than 4,000 warriors from Russian prison, but there are thousands more in the prison. I wanted to share with you some images. How you have just can I now?
Yeah,
all right. In some minutes, 1 minute. Just you to understand in what circumstances, in what situation they are, and what the attitude of Russia to our prisoners. Bad guys, just you before and after. When you see before and after, just you to understand. Now thousands of such guys, ladies and men, there, and that, so they don't eat, they beat them, and they, it's a lot of bad things. So out of, even during the war, there are rules. Everybody knows there are rules during the war. These guys, they don't have any rules. You see that 50, 60 kilograms to them. And a lot of such things. And I didn't.
On faut camper là. Président ukrainien, il dit avec président américain, tout le monde ça yo, la Russie prend dans le pays ukrainien, rêve li c'est pour mener tout le monde tourner dans le pays ukrainien. Il dit président américain, Poutine son killer, Poutine son son monde qui a tué monde, comme si pour lui-même, Poutine sont assassin, Poutine sont criminel, Poutine sont terroriste lié. C'est ça le dit président américain. Quand il y a ça le fait, il peut te photo le montrer président américain comment militaire russe et comment ils torturent, comment ils battent moun yo, comment ils maltraitent dans prison malgré ils fait échange, ils changer et ça les militaires, ils changé militaire à militaire par exemple, Ukraine by militaire là aussi by militaire, mais il dit grand pile soldats américains et ukrainiens et qui toujours dans mais l'empayé la Russie qu'on y a la montrer président américain photo yo nous capable garder président américain et même les autres n'importe ça il montre il gon ticket sensible quand même les la garder photo yo en côté mes amis en côté brothers and sisters the situation between Russia and Ukraine I don't think it's going to be end anytime soon. It look like it's tough and plus President Zelensky say he not gonna sit, he not gonna make a deal with Vladimir Putin as the terrorist, as a killer. He won't make no deal, and then that's what happened at the White House. They had to kick him out of the White House because he's not accept to sign any deal, any deal, any deal, any deal. The deal he want, all he want from United States, security guarantee. That's all he want mostly. He say everything is good. Europe could do it, but he say he don't believe Europe, the EU, whatever you call that, cannot do it by themselves. He want America, and he want America missile system, the Patriot missile. That's what he say he wanted, and he want to exchange a license to United States. Have to give them a license, so they guarantee they could get him from United States. Let's listen, guy. The situation is complicated. It's not an easy thing.
To show you what the changes with images of children, because I will just share with you, and I mean it's looking tragic.
Yeah, it's tough stuff.
Yeah, I wanted very much to give you, and you see.
Yeah.
This is pastor, by the way. They stolen pastors because it's not Russian church. They stolen pastors and moved pastors to the prison. We at the end of
Il dit pile pasteur et dans prison parce que l'église pas l'église la Russie, tant pile pasteur dans prison, pile petit monde.
Yeah, so I mean this I wanted to show you and this. So thank you very much.
We want to get that in.
Yeah, of course. Of course. We
I
will.
think we will. I think we will. And
We have to, of course.
do you have any questions, Chris?
Thank you, Mr. President. With the, how much money is the U.S. going to put into the fund that is being created today, and how does this provide long-term security for Ukraine?
Well, we don't know exactly how much because we're going to be putting some money in a fund that we're going to get from the war earth that we're going to be taking and sharing in terms of revenue. So it's going to be a lot of money will be made from the sale and from the use of raw earth. And as you know, our country doesn't have much raw earth. We have a lot of oil and gas, but we don't have a lot of the raw earth. And what we do have is protected by the environmentalists, but that can be unprotected, but still it's not very much. They have among the best in the world in terms of raw earth. So we're going to be using that, taking it, using it for all of the things we do, including AI and including weapons and the military, and it's really going to very much satisfy our needs. So something that just worked out really well. We have a lot of oil and we have a lot of gas, we have a lot, but we don't have raw earth. So this has just about every component.
That's the one thing.
Of raw earth that we need for computers, for all of it.
That's one thing, like I always say, I like about President Trump, and he said it the way it is. Some people probably try to be lied. We got everything. He said we got a lot of oil, we got a lot of things, but a lot of things we need, we can get it from Ukraine. Ukraine, we're going to use them to do a lot of things, especially the new technologies coming out called AI. He said we can use all those things to make from Ukraine product. We can make it better and better and better. He's talking the truth. He said we got a lot of oil, we got a lot of things, but what we have is not enough to support Ukraine. Let's listen, guys. Ça vraiment, et ça fait, je toujours dit que m'apprécie ça avec le président Donald Trump. Il a parlé, il a rien, il a serré, il a tout fait qu'on est. Aux États-Unis, son grand pays, il a tout bagaille, il a tout bagaille, pas rien manqué. Il faut qu'on est aux États-Unis, il a pile l'huile, il a pile gaz, mais il y a bagaille, il pas gagné, mais il a utilisé ça, Ukraine gagné pour yo faire un pile bagaille, par exemple nos technologies qui viennent qui les AI là, et dit qu'on paquet de bagaille dans le pays Ukraine, un pile richesse dans le pays Ukraine, un pile bon produit, yo capable d'utiliser yo, mettre ça au gain, vinn plus bon toujours. Hein? En goûter.
The things we do, which puts us in great shape.
Long-term security for Ukraine.
I think they're going to have great luck. I think once we make the agreement, that's going to be 95% of it. They're not going to go back to fighting. I've spoken with President Putin, and I feel very strong. I've known him for a long time, and I feel very strongly that they're very serious about it, and we'll make a deal. And when the deal is made, I don't think, we talk about security. Everyone's talking about the other day, all they talked about was security. I said, let me make the deal first. I have to make the deal first. I don't worry about security right now. We have to have a deal, because right now, last week, 2,000 soldiers died on both sides. 2,000, and they're losing 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 a week. So as we sit here and we talk, people are getting shot and dying on the battlefield. And you know, they're not American soldiers, but they're Russian soldiers and they're Ukrainian soldiers, and we want to be able to stop it. And we want to be able also to spend money on other things. We don't want to, this is a tremendous amount of money, and what the Biden administration did was terrible. They were giving money, but he had no security on the money. Europe, as you know, gave much less money, but they had security. It was in the form of a loan. They get their money back, and we didn't. And now, at least we're protected, because the American taxpayer has to be protected too. But this is an incredible agreement for Ukraine, because we have a big investment in their country now, and what they have, very few people have. And we're able to really go forward with very, very high-tech things and many other things, including weaponry that we're going to use in many locations, but that we need for our country. This allows us to do this.
I'm sorry.
Yes, go ahead, please.
If I can just, yes. In the document, there is one of the very important points. If we speak about business and investment, we never had LNG terminals in Ukraine. This document will open. I mean, the next document, but anyway, here we see in the framework, we see a really good will for this. LNG terminals for us is very important, and I think for security of European continent. We have the biggest storage, gas storage. We have the biggest in Europe. Yes, and we can use it for LNG, we use it for LNG, and we will do it. And really, we can help Europe, because Europe really helped. President Trump said that they made less support, but they're our friends, and they are our very supportive partners. They really gave a lot, Mr. President. They did.
They gave a lot, but they gave much less.
No.
Much less.
No.
Mr. President Trump, you have repeatedly called the deal with Ukraine as a historical one. And as a president of the United States, you made historical decisions in other issues which affect America and other wars. So, what place in the world history do you want to take? And do you associate yourself with any famous historical figures?
Washington, Abraham Lincoln. I would say I'm far superior to George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. Now, you know I'm only kidding, right? Because when I say that, the fake news is going to go wild. They're going to say he considers himself to be better than Washington. But you never know. You never know. I don't compare myself to anybody. I'm here to do a job. We've had a great 35 days or whatever it might be, a month, a little more than a month. We've accomplished tremendous amounts. Not only this would be a very great achievement if we could get the war stopped and get them back to normalization. I think that's going to happen. We've had very good talks on both sides, as you know, but I think we've done a very good job, just generally. If you look at all of the things we've done in 30 days, they're saying there's never been a opening for a president. The first month, there's never been a first month like we've had. And this is one of the very important things. This, to me, is one of the most important things because we have tremendous death taking place as we speak, and I don't want to have that. You know, think of the parents, think of the parents, whether they're in Russia or Ukraine, think of the parents of all these people being killed needlessly.
They came to our territory.
Should have never started. This would, if I were president, this would have never started.
Mr. President, we're acknowledging your commitment. Mr. President, will you continue sending military aid to Ukraine after the U.S. signs this agreement with Ukraine?
Yeah, we're
The
going to be
question to
continuing.
President Zelensky: do you feel like the U.S. is on your side? That the President Trump is on your side at this moment?
What do you think?
He wants to know, do you think that, sort of a stupid question. I guess we wouldn't be here if I wasn't.
I think that the United States on our side from the very beginning of occupation, and I think that President Trump on our side, and of course, I'm sure that the United States President will not stop support. This is crucial for us. It's important for us. Yes. And Putin, the president, speaks about the people and the soldiers which are dying, but they came to our territory, they came to our land. They began this war, and they have to stop. And I think this is the question, with really the most important question. Can President Trump, I hope yes, with some other allies, to stop Putin, withdraw these enemies, our enemy, withdraw these troops from our land? And I think that you asked about the history. I think that if President, or when he will stop Putin, if President Trump will bring peace to our country, I think he will be on this wall.
We've had very, very good talks.
Mr. What about military aid to Ukraine?
President Zelensky just said that there'll be no compromises with Vladimir Putin. I just wanted to ask both of you, firstly, are there compromises that you think that President Zelensky is going to have to make? President Zelensky, is there anything that you might be thinking that you may be able to offer or bring to the table, for example, elections? Thank you.
I think you're going to have to always make compromises. You can't do any deals without compromises. So certainly he's going to have to make some compromises, but hopefully they won't be as big as some people think you're going to have to make. That's all. That's all we can do. I'm here as an arbitrator, as a mediator to a certain extent between two parties that have been very hostile. To put it mildly, they've been very hostile. There's been a vicious war. There's been a vicious war. You know, it's a very level battlefield, and those bullets go out, and as I've said many times, we were talking about it with Pete, many times the only thing stopping those bullets is a human body. And in the case we're talking about, generally young human bodies are stopping a lot of bullets. It's dead level. That's why it's great farmland. It's great land. It's great farmland, but there's very little protection against the bullets that are being, and other things that are being shot. So all I can do is see if I can get everybody at the table and get an agreement. I think we're going to end up with an agreement. Otherwise, I wouldn't probably be even here today.
Mr. President, I've got two questions for you. You think ultimately your legacy will be the peacemaker and not the president that led this country into another war and ended foreign wars? And I've got a question.
I hope it will. I mean, I hope I'm going to be remembered as a peacemaker. This would be a great thing if we could do this. I'm doing this to save lives more than anything else. Second is to save a lot of money, but I consider that to be far less important. So I hope I'm going to, thank you, Brian, for that question. It was a nice question. I hope I'll be known and recognized as a peacemaker. This would be a great thing to solve. This is a very dangerous situation. You know, this could lead to a third world war. This was headed in the wrong direction. If this election were lost, if we didn't win this election, and we won it by a lot, that was a mandate. We won every swing state. We won the popular vote by millions and millions of votes. We won everything. the districts. You look at the areas of red. Take a look at a map. This was a big mandate, and this was one of the things I said we're going to get this thing settled. If we didn't win, I think this could have very well ended up in a third world war, and that would not.
I want to buy your house.
So what was your second?
And my second question for President Zelensky: why don't you wear a suit? You're at the highest, why don't you wear a suit? You're at the highest level in this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if do you own a suit?
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not
Really?
respecting the
I don't have
dignity of
such-
this office.
I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes, maybe one,
Maybe something like this.
something like
Yes,
yours.
sir.
Yes,
That'd be great.
maybe something better. I don't know. We will see. Maybe something cheaper. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
President Trump. Thank you, President Trump. You said yesterday that you have.
Are you going to send more arms to Ukraine in case there's no peace?
Yeah, we're going to have arms to Ukraine. Yeah, sure. Hopefully, I won't have to send very much because hopefully we're going to have it finished. We're looking forward to finishing this quickly. We're not looking forward to sending a lot of arms. We're looking forward to getting the war finished so we can do other things. But we very much appreciate the agreement because we needed what they had, and we're treating, our country is now treated fairly. Biden didn't do that. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. This should have never happened. This should have never started. But, sure, the answer is yes, but hopefully we won't have to send much because I'm looking forward to getting it done quickly, very quickly.
Does that mean you'll provide security guarantees, Mr. President?
I don't want to talk about security yet because I want to get the deal done. You fall into the same trap like everybody else. A million times you say it over and over. I want to get the deal done. Security is so easy. That's about 2% of the problem. I'm not worried about security. I'm worried about getting the deal done. The security is the easy part. Security is very nice. Everybody stops shooting. And now will Europe put people there? I know France is going to. I know the UK is going to. I know other countries are going to, and they happen to be right next door. We haven't committed, but we could conceivably. We have security in a different form. We'll have workers there digging, taking the raw earth so that we can create a lot of great product in this country. So in that sense, you have something, but we haven't determined that yet. I will say, in speaking to France and in speaking to, and they were here, as you know, last week and just the other day, they have committed to a lot of security. I don't think you're going to need much security. I think once this deal gets done, it's over. Russia's not going to want to go back, and nobody's going to want to go back. When this deal ends, I really believe this deal is going to be over. Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Mr. President, thank you. You had President Macron and Keir Starmer at the White House this past week, both of whom praised your courage and conviction to lead the pathway towards peace.
Yes.
Part of that involved, though, re-engaging Russia in diplomatic relations, something that previous leaders lacked the conviction to do so. What gave you the moral courage and conviction to step forward and lead that?
Well, I love this guy. Who are you with?
One American, you say.
Well, that's why I like him. One American News does a great job. I like the question. I think it's a very good question. It's a pathway to peace. It's a pathway to getting something solved. And I feel that as the head of this country, I have an obligation to do that. Plus, we're very much involved, and we got involved. It's too bad we got involved because there should have been no involvement because there should have been no war. And there shouldn't have been October 7th. That would have never happened. As you know, Iran was broke. They had no money to give to Hezbollah. They had no money to give to Hamas.
Mesdames et messieurs, merci beaucoup en pile du fait que nous allons regarder la vidéo. Et nous passons dernière question. Le journaliste l'a posé, Président Zelensky. Pour moi-même, moi, elle pas belle. Il dit Président Zelensky, est-ce qu'on va avoir un veste pour mettre sous qui fait chaque fois venir dans un meeting? En pile américain qui a un problème, ça ensemble avec vous. Chaque fois venir dans un meeting, dans un pays américain, ou pas jamais de veste sous. Est-ce qu'on va avoir un veste? Zelensky dit, bon, moi dans la bataille, moi pays dans la bataille, je ne vais pas mettre veste sur moi, mais puis après la bataille la camper, je vais mettre un veste sur moi. Je vais acheter une qui plus cher que pour là, ou bien je vais acheter une, mais qui plus bon marché que pour là. This is a sad question. It's a slap on the face for Zelensky. And no deal made, not inside, and anything. So, brothers and sisters, I think it's really, we say that already, and we talk about this a lot. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, everybody, for all the support me, or support my video, and everything, guys. I think it's really sad for Zelensky. I think to me, it's a slap in the face to Zelensky. Zelensky really believe United States should give him security guarantee, but it's something to me, it's not work out for him. There's supposed to be a dinner, no dinner. There's supposed to be a press conference, no press conference. He kicked out of the White House, guy. It's just really sad, really sad, really sad. But it's politics. It's just the way things probably go. Thank you so much, guy. A little bit more.
They were stone cold broke.
Did you know that you can have permanent teeth
In the future.
I'm very committed to Poland. I think Poland has really stepped up and done a great job for NATO. They, as you know, they paid more than they had to. They are one of the finest groups of people I've ever known. I'm very committed to Poland.
What about Baltics?
Poland's in a tough neighborhood, you know.
What about the Baltics?
The Baltics, they got a lot of, it's a tough neighborhood too, but we're committed. We're going to be very committed, and we're committed to NATO. But NATO has to step up, and the Europeans have to step up more than they have. And I want to see them equalize, because they are in for far less than we're in, and they should be at least equal.
the way. But first to the Baltics, it's understandable for them because they've been in the USSR. You know, they've been one of the republics of the USSR, and Putin wants to bring them back to his empire. It's a fact. And when he will go there, if we will not stay, you will fight. Your American soldiers, it doesn't matter, do you have ocean or not, your soldiers will fight.
Mr. President, would you be willing to visit Ukraine, maybe Kyiv or Odessa, which is going to be a 30-year-old Black Sea?
It was my question.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to talk about Odessa now. Let's not talk about Odessa. I want to talk about making a deal, getting peace. We don't have to talk about Odessa, but a lot of cities have been destroyed. A lot of cities that are not recognizable. There's not a building standing.
No.
And a lot of things have to happen.
You have to come and to look. No. We have very good cities. Yes, a lot of things have been destroyed, but mostly cities alive, and people work, and children go to school. Sometimes it's very difficult. Sometimes closer to front line, children have to go to underground schools or online, but we live. Ukraine is fighting and Ukraine lives. This is very important. And maybe it's Putin is sharing this information that he destroyed us. Well, he lost 700,000 people, 700,000 soldiers. He lost everything. Yes. So,
Mr. President, more. I just
Please go ahead.
When did you last speak with President Putin, and what did he say that?
A couple of days ago.
And what did he tell you that gave you the assurance that he wanted peace?
Well, that's what I do. My whole life is deals. I know pretty good, and I've known him for a long time. I've dealt with him for a long time. Marco, would you like to say something about that?
Yeah, we have concerns, obviously, with the conduct of those, particularly as it impacts Americans. And there's real concern that American speech, which is online, could fall into the hands of British or any country's jurisdiction. And so this is a point the Vice President made in Munich, and I think it's a very compelling one that what unites us with Europe, as much as anything else, is these shared values, and one of them being free speech. And so if Americans are threatened by it, we're going to need to take action in that regard.
It's actually a very important question.
We spoke about this in detail with the Prime Minister, the Foreign Secretary, and others at lunch yesterday. And I know that Secretary of Commerce Lutnick followed up in private meetings last night. This is really important. We believe Americans have the right to speak their mind, even if we in this room disagree with them. They have the right to speak their mind in the public square, which is often online these days. And we're going to defend that right as it pertains to American companies and American citizens vigorously if we have to. I do think that under the President's leadership, we're going to find common ground with our friends in the UK on this question, but it remains to be seen. The principle that will guide us is we believe in free speech in this country, and we'll fight for it for American citizens.
Mr. President, on the deal, is there any other oil and gas component to the deal? Is it all critical?
A little bit, we'll see.
On LNG?
But we're not really looking for that so much. We got a lot. We have more than anybody in the world, by far. So no, we're not talking about it too much, but a little bit. I think it affects also, but for the most part, no.
And sir, is there any agreement from Ukraine to purchase U.S. LNG as part of the deal? Or?
a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, parts of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact
2015.
2014
2014.
and 2014.
2014.
Yeah. So
I was not here.
Yeah, but
That's exactly
but,
right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, yeah, the situation the same. The people are
Office trying to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring it into this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Count once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war,
in other news,
even but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering
position to dictate that.
That's exactly
Remember
what
this.
you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about
From
it.
the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having
not
cards.
playing cards.
Right now, you don't.
I'm
You're
very
playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're gambling
I'm
with the
president
lives of
anymore.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's
with
back
all
to
respect to
you.
you.
Far more than a lot of people said they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once? This
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire
today.
meeting, have you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country is in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No,
Can
you've
I
done a lot of
answer?
talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning.
I know.
You're not winning this.
I,
You have a damn
we-
good chance of
we are
coming out
staying-
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this cabinet.
We gave you, through
I
this
said
stupid
thank-
president, $350 billion.
You voted
We gave
for
you
your
military equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me-
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
okay?
days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this.
And
I tell you.
to say thank you.
I said a lot of times,
Accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think it's very
I understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
again,
running
I
low
know.
on soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
don't, please,
you're running
Mr.
low
President.
on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
with guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't with me.
For you what
That wasn't with me. That was with a guy named Biden, who was not a smart person. That was with Obama.
It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff, it was a Democrat scam. And he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia. Cards. But once we signed that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think? Huh? This is going to be great television, I will say that. All right. We'll see what we can do about putting it together. Thanks, sir. I need the back of this. We'll see, I don't know. Guys, come on.
Mesdames et messieurs, bagay ou mêlé, Zelensky gèle fène yo fâché, rien pas fait, rien pas signé, deal pas fait. Mesdames et messieurs, pas oublier abonner et subscribe avec channel. Merci tout le monde, ciao ciao, and see you in my next video. Thank you, bye bye.